Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be doing a DIY step-by-step tutorial on making a wood sign from start to finish using your laser machine. So I thought this would be a really fun video to do and kind of get into the nitty-gritty on picking out your design, importing it into your software, which is Lightburn, and then grouping things together for your cutting, maybe some settings, and then show you how I paint, how I glue, assemble, all that fun stuff. So we're really going to get down into the details of that today, and we're going to make a fun door hanger for my front door because my porch is looking a little bit bare. I know it's getting into spring now. It was at that awkward phase where it wasn't quite spring yet. It was still cold, you know, so now we're feeling the spring vibes here in South Carolina. So I was like, we need to get our porch spruced up a little bit. Let's make a door hanger. So that is what we're going to be doing today. And if you're new to this channel, first of all, hi, I'm Sally, and we do a lot of fun crafts on this channel. We do vinyl, we do sublimation, laser items, and yeah, I thought it would be really fun to kind of do a full tutorial on that today. So if you guys are interested in that, then just keep on watching and we'll get down into the details. All right, y'all, so we're here on Etsy. I was browsing just different cut files and different SVGs, and I came across this adorable shop here. It is Sunny Sprout Design here on Etsy, and no, this is not sponsored. I just thought her work looked really cute, and she made adorable door hanger signs or cut files for your laser. So that's basically what you're going to want to look for if you're new to this laser thing and you don't know what kind of files to look for. You just want to look for SVG designs and kind of take a look and see if it can be compatible with your laser, and these are specifically designed for lasers, so they work. But as I was looking, I found this file right here. I thought it was so cute. The colors definitely popped out and caught my eye. That sage green is like my favorite color right now, so I decided that this would be a perfect project for us. It has some different layers. It has some different things that we can play around with here and kind of customize to our liking. So I think that we're going to go with that here, you guys. I'm definitely loving it, and I'm going to go ahead and add this to my cart, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so I'm here in Lightburn. This is the software that I use for my laser. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is import your design into Lightburn. So you're going to go up to File, Import, and then you're going to select whatever design that you're wanting to cut from your file folder, and it will import into the software for you. Okay, so here we have our new design. The first thing that I always start by doing is seeing how big the design is. So over here it's set to 8.1 by 8.1, but we want to do a larger sign. So I'm thinking more like maybe 18 inches. So this lock needs to be locked down because it kind of keeps your aspect ratio together so your sign doesn't look distorted if you try and, you know, stretch it out and whatnot. So that locks down, and we're going to change this to 18. All right, so now our sizing will be correct if we were to cut it out now. The next thing I want to do is just kind of look at our design here and see what's grouped together. What do I need to group together on my end? What do I need to cut out? What do I need to, you know, engrave, etc. So I'm just going to take a look here and see. Okay, so welcome is not grouped. We had a top piece not grouped, bottom piece not grouped, and then okay, all of these are ungrouped, it looks like. And then that piece comes out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and undo all of that so I can. All right, so I know that everything's pretty much ungrouped, so we can customize it our own. So the first thing we want to do is group this welcome together. So I'm going to highlight welcome. And instead of grouping, I'm going to go over here to the left-hand corner where it says weld, since it's a cursive word, and I'm going to weld it together. So now my welcome is put together. Okay, now that that part's done, I'm going to start grouping all my pieces together. But first, I need to actually go ahead and set everything to the cut setting that it needs to be, because all of these are going to be cut out. It looks like everything is going to be cut out. There's not going to be any engraving, any outlining, anything like that. So I'm going to want to highlight my entire work here and pick the color down here that works for your cut setting. So in my laser, and the way I set it up was my number 2 in red is the cut setting that I use for my laser and the style and type of wood that I'm using. So mine is set to obviously cut, which is line, speed of 22, and power of 85. And it is going to cut through that like butter. It works well for my laser, but just know that every laser is different. All the settings will be different depending on what type of laser that you have. I'm going to be using 1/4 inch birch with this. So that is what works for my laser for that. Okay, so now everything is at least the cut setting that it needs to be. So the next thing that we want to go do is I want to add holes here at the top because I'm going to be hanging this on my door with twine. So I want 2 small holes here at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and create those now. I'm going to go to the left-hand corner and create my circle, hold down Shift, and create a circle. I want that to be 0.25. So I'm going to go up to the settings, change that to 0.25, make sure it is locked, and it is. I'm going to then take this dot and I'm going to duplicate it by right-clicking, duplicate, and now I have 2 dots. So now I just need to put those dots about where I want them. I want them to be centered, so I'm going to select both of them, go up here to the top toolbar, and I'm going to select that and align height, which makes them basically just exactly straight. All right, and then I'm just going to align that here about where I want it. That looks good enough here. And since they're both highlighted, I want to group those together just so I don't move one by accident or something like that. So you can do either Control G for grouping, or you can right click and group that way. All right, now that I have those dots here, I know that I'm going to need 2 sets of these, and I'll show you why here in a second. So I'm going to click those again, right click, duplicate. Since 2 of them are selected, I know I need to group 1 set to this top part and 1 set to the backer board. And like I said, I'll show you in a minute why. So those are selected. I'm going to go and hold down Shift. I'm going to select my top piece and then right click and group that together. Okay. So as you see here, this is basically when we're done cutting, this is the top layer that we're going to be gluing on top of our backer board here. If you did not have 2 other holes on this backer board, it would not even have a hole here. It would just be 2 holes on the top, and then it would be nothing on the back, and you wouldn't be able to hang it. So we need 2 holes so that when we match it up, it goes all the way through our sign, and that's how we'll make our twine hanging. All right, so now that we have those 2 dots here, I'm going to go ahead and select the backer board here, Shift, and select our 2 dots, and then either Control G or right click and group those together. So now our backer board here also has the 2 dots. So this is going to be cut in natural wood. This is going to be cut in natural wood. What else? Okay, we have this bottom piece here that we know is going to be cut in our natural wood too. And then it looks now like all of these pieces down here are going to be painted. So the way that I do things, and it could be different for different types of signs that I do, but this particular sign, we're going to actually paint before we cut these pieces here. And the reason why is because we're going to be layering a lot of pieces, and it's just going to look better for this style sign to just have everything painted first. So these are going to be cut in natural wood, so no painting, no staining, nothing like that. And these are all going to be painted. So now I got to figure out what colors do I want everything to be. So I do know that I want my sign to look pretty similar to the sample photo that she had on this design. So I think my welcome is going to be done in white. So it'll be alone over here. And I want sage green, maybe an off-white, sage green, off-white, sage green, you know, kind of like she did on her design. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to put my pieces together, grouping them with the color that they're supposed to be with. So I'm going to do that now. These are going to be sage. So sage, sage. As you see here, we have groups together of the colors that we're doing. So the sage green, the off-white, and then maybe a darker green or something here. So how this is going to work is I'm only going to have the outer square or outer rectangle cut first, not the inside. That'll make sure to be turned off when I'm cutting. And the reason why is because it's going to have those cut out and I'm going to paint it. And then after it's dry and sanded and all that good stuff, I'm then going to put it back in the laser and cut out the stuff on the inside. And it'll make sense as I show through the tutorial, and it'll make more sense as the video goes on. So that part is done. So now everything is set to have this part cut in regular wood, and then these are going to be cut out in regular wood but then painted. So let's go ahead and head on outside to the laser, and then we're going to get this cut started. Outside to turn the lasers on. If you guys are new to this channel, we use Thunder Laser. I'm absolutely obsessed with my machines, you guys. It has completely changed the game for our business. So what I'm doing right now is getting the air turned on, which is connected to the laser, and then getting the lasers turned on. It's as simple as that, and then letting everything warm up for a second so we can get started with our cuts. Once the laser's on, I will then get my laptop, plug it into the wall, and here I go, dropping it on the ground. Good job, Sally. I plug up my laptop to the wall, and then I take the USB that is connected to the laser and plug it up to my laptop. And that way, everything that I send from my laptop, the designs I made, it will go straight to the laser. So we keep a lot of our wood in our other garage stacked up, and this is 1/4-inch birch, which we will be using for today's project. So that's what I'm doing now, is just grabbing that piece of wood. All right, so we got the air cut on over there, which is connected to the air compressor and connected to the lasers. This is the one that we're going to be using today. Have the wood ready. This is just 1/4-inch birch plywood. It is, it's definitely got like the thicker core in there. So this one doesn't warp, is not known to warp. Now I know you might be thinking outdoor signs, you shouldn't be using 1/4-inch wood, but my front porch is covered completely. But since this is only gonna be up for a short little period of time, I think it will be just fine with our 1/4-inch. So we got that wood ready. So the paint that we're going to be using in today's video is just Rust-Oleum. It's my second favorite paint. I love the Montana 94 as my first choice, and Rust-Oleum is definitely my second choice. I feel like it gives me a really good finish. So we just have our ivory, kind of a hunter club green, which is kind of, I guess, a hunter green. And then we have something close to sage. It's a moss green. So these are the three colors that we're going to be using today. We have Lightburn all set up and ready. Hopefully you can see that, but we have everything laid out on our software ready to cut. This is our area that you're seeing here. So that big rectangle is the rectangle that you're seeing here. So I have it laid out exactly where I want it to cut. I did not select the inside of this, the inside of that, or the inside of that. It's only all of the outer portions. So now all I have to do, everything's plugged in. I'm gonna hit send, put the wood in the machine, and we're gonna get everything going from there. So now I have my little focal tool here. I'm gonna go ahead and see if everything is at the right focal point that we need it to be, so that we have the best cut possible for our material. And the next thing I'll usually look at is to make sure my wood is not warped in any spots, and this wood is pretty flat, which is good. So we're good to go. So all the pieces just cut out. As y'all see, these are the two that we're gonna leave natural. So when we build it, this piece will go here, this piece will go here. There's another piece that we're gonna be painting that goes there. And then all the little individual pieces that we are gonna paint on this and cut out are gonna go into that. So that part's done. So the next thing that we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna paint these. So this is the dark green, this is gonna be the lighter green, and this is our ivory. And we're gonna allow those to dry, and while those are drying, we're just gonna sand, like lightly sand over, oh, there's a fly. It's getting warmer out, so there's flies out. So we're gonna just lightly sand over all of our natural pieces while those are drying. Okay, so I'm gonna apply one coat, let it dry. I'm gonna lightly sand over that coat, and then I put my final coat. So this is just our first coat. Okay, now that the paint is dry to the touch with our boards, we're gonna go ahead and lightly sand, kind of buff that up a little bit, and then do our final coat. Okay, so we just got those final pieces painted. They are drying on shelves, and we're gonna let them dry probably for several hours. And then when those are, completely dry, we're gonna come back out and get those smaller pieces cut out, and they'll be ready to glue and assemble everything and get everything hung up. All right, so it's been several hours later. I had to take my daughter to an orthodontist appointment, and everything is good and dry now. So we're gonna go ahead, turn the laser back on, and get everything in there so we can get those pieces cut out. Okay, so now I have all my pieces, and what I'm gonna do is lay them in the laser, and then I'll show you how I line everything up. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my squares, my boxes in the general area of where I put them in the laser. So now I'm gonna go over here to the left-hand side. You see this little tool here? It's called the laser position tool. So I'm gonna click that. And then I'm gonna go up to the left-hand corner. Since my laser's connected to my computer, anything I click using this tool, it's gonna take the laser head to that area. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the top left corner now. And as you see here, the head just went to the top corner. So I'm just gonna line the top left corner to that dot. So as you see, the laser pointer is right in that top left corner. So we know that at least the top left corner is in position. Now I'm gonna check that with the right-hand side, and then I'm gonna do the other colors. So now we know with absolute certainty that all of our pieces here are lined up exact to our software. So now I'm gonna go head back over to Lightburn and only select the inside of those squares, and then we'll get those cut out. as y'all can see, everything is cut out, painted, and ready to be assembled. So what we're doing now is kind of just laying out all our pieces, making sure everything matches up, and it does. So I use this Loctite Professional Super Glue just because I can find it locally really easily, and it's just what I've been using. I like super glue because it's really fast and it works instantly, so you don't have to wait or clamp anything down. So that is what I'm going to be using today to glue everything up. Luckily, it's going to be pretty simple. If anything is ever going to be too intricate and hard to place down straight, I'll do an outline using my laser. That's whole nother video for a whole nother day. But this one's going to be pretty easy because, you know, I just match this up and then match this one up at the bottom and then put the middle piece on. So it's not going to be hard to put everything where it needs to go in this particular piece. So yeah, that's what we're going to go ahead and do, is get everything glued, and it should be finished. Alright, so here's how the sign turned out. I absolutely love it. I think the colors blend really well together. The file was seamless. It worked really great. I added those holes, as y'all saw, in the file, so now we can go and hang it up on the front door. But I think it turned out really great. I definitely highly recommend this file if you guys are looking for a cute laser cut file. I even think that this would be really cute as DIY kits. So if you wanted to sell those as well, even with the 3M on the back, I think that could be a really great seller as well. But I love how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You guys, look at this sunset. So beautiful tonight. So that pretty much wraps it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one, which will be very soon. Bye, everyone.